In the late winter of 2025, deep in the isolated mountain region of northeastern Russia, a restoration team clearing a forgotten stone monastery unearthed something they never should have touched. Something older than the building itself, older than the scriptures buried beneath it, older, according to those who survived the first night in human memory. It happened when workers broke through a collapsed prayer chamber and exposed a narrow staircase descending into the rock. A staircase no architectural record mentioned, and whose stonework was impossibly smooth, as if carved by tools far more advanced than those used in the 12th century monastery above. And at the bottom of that staircase, sealed behind a slab of granite, so dense that drills overheated and diamond blades snapped, they found a coffin-shaped cavity, perfectly rectangular, measuring precisely 7 feet long, 3 feet wide, and 3 feet deep, and lying inside, untouched by dust or decay, was a black, glass-like object the size of a large book, so dark it absorbed light instead of reflecting it, and so unnaturally warm that the archaeologist who first lifted it yanked his hand back with a gasp, though he insisted the warmth wasn't like heat from a fire, but like something living, something breathing slowly through the stone. And when they finally carried it into the open air, the surface of the object began to shimmer with faint golden markings that grew brighter with every passing second, forming rows of numbers arranged like dates, each accompanied by a short phrase written in an ancient angular script that no scholar recognized, until they realized the script itself wasn't T-static. It seemed to ripple, as though the stone was alive and rewriting its own language, rearranging itself into a pattern the human mind could comprehend. And when the team translated the first sequence, they froze. March 3rd, 1825, the 11 taken by the ash. It seemed nonsensical until someone checked regional history and discovered that exactly 100 years later, to the day, in 1925, an unexplained fire consumed all 11 members of a nearby village family whose home burned from the top down, defying the physics of any normal fire. The next line read July 12, 1836. The ground swallows the shepherd. And again, exactly 1 century later in 1936, a shepherd went missing when the soil beneath him collapsed during a perfectly clear day, though the hole sealed itself moments later as if it had never opened. The further they read, the more horrifying the pattern became. Every line predicted a real event, but always exactly 100 years before it occurred, down to the minute in some cases, and the slab held thousands of these predictions, continuing all the way into the modern era. August 9th, 1895, the choir of the hill falls silent, a date that corresponded 1 century later to the sudden documented mass death of birds across the same hillside. October 21st, the fourth chosen speaks the dead tongue, corresponding to a woman in 2001 who suddenly began reciting verses in a language extinct for 2,000 years before collapsing. But as terrifying as the accuracy was, what frightened the team more was the realization that the dates didn't stop at the present. The slab also listed future events, each one exactly a century ahead of its inscribed date, and the next upcoming one read, May 27th, 2025. The next will be claimed where the stone first breathed, and the site manager, horrified at the implication, demanded the artifact be locked away immediately. But before they could move it, a translator noticed something else. Every time someone touched the slab, even lightly, one of the future phrases flickered and changed slightly, as though reacting to the specific person interacting with it. Some words dimmed, others sharpened, and one researcher swore the stone whispered his name in a voice that sounded like his dead mother's before the markings shifted again. But when he replayed the audio from his recorder, the whisper was gone, replaced by a faint grinding noise like stone twisting itself into new shapes. That night, the local power grid failed for the first time in 14 years, plunging the entire site into darkness for 62 seconds. And during that minute, the security cameras recorded something impossible, the artifact glowing dimly on its table, while multiple human-shaped shadows moved around it, despite no one being in the room. When power returned, the slab displayed a new line that hadn't been there before. May 26, 2025. The reader is not prepared. The team, now terrified, shipped the artifact to an underground research facility known for handling anomalous archaeological finds. And for the first 48 hours, the object remained dormant, its inscription stable and cold. But on the third night, the internal temperature of the sealed chamber rose by 40 degrees without any mechanical failure, and the slab began emitting a low-frequency hum that vibrated through the walls, causing 3 researchers to experience severe nausea and one to burst into tears without understanding why. When the hum stopped, the inscription shifted again, and a new date etched itself across the surface. May 27th, 2025, 2:14 The one who opens becomes the one who is opened. Experts debated the meaning for hours, some believing the slab predicted a death, others believing it marked a transition or possession. But the one thing everyone agreed on was that the phrase referred to a specific individual, likely someone present in the facility, and that at 2:14 a.m. on the upcoming date, something catastrophic would occur. As the deadline approached, researchers noticed an unsettling pattern. Anyone who spent more than 3 minutes alone with the slab began to suffer auditory hallucinations. Whispers distant, knocking, soft scratching from inside the stone, as though something trapped within were trying to claw its way out. One woman reported feeling someone exhale against the back of her neck, though the room was verified empty. Another claimed the stone recited future dates in her own voice, some decades ahead, some centuries, some so distant she couldn't comprehend the numbers. On the evening of May 26, with less than 12 hours before the predicted event, the lead investigator, Dr. Halden Rook, noticed something no one else had. The earliest dates on the slab corresponded not to disasters, but to disappearances, individuals who vanished under mysterious circumstances exactly 100 years later, and whose bodies were never recovered. And when he cross-referenced the names of those who vanished, he discovered an impossible detail. Every disappearance had occurred within 1 mile of a monastery, shrine, or temple built before the 12th century, as though the slab was marking not events, but harvests, selecting individuals as offerings to something no historical record ever mentioned. At 1:58 a.m., alarms blared as the artifact's temperature spiked to over 200 degrees, yet the outer stone remained intact, glowing from within like an ember ready to split open. And the inscriptions began rewriting themselves in real time, the golden letters twisting like living serpents until the entire surface displayed one phrase: "He approaches the hour." Dr. Rourke, realizing the artifact's meaning, ordered everyone out of the chamber. But as he moved to leave, the heavy blast door slammed shut on its own, locking him inside. Security cameras recorded him, shouting, pounding the steel, calling for help. But at 2:14 a.m., the lights flickered once, twice, then went dark for exactly 9 seconds. And when they came back on, Dr. Rourke was gone. Not dead, not disintegrated, simply gone, with no sign of struggle, no biological residue, no spatial distortion, just the empty room and the artifact split neatly down its center like a cracked egg, hollow inside as though something had hatched and crawled out. Hours later, after the room was evacuated and sealed, 2 technicians reviewing thermal logs found something even worse. During the blackout, the chamber registered a second heat signature, humanoid in shape, standing directly behind Rourke before the cameras cut out. And though the official report declared the artifact inert and the disappearance unexplained, the final horror was discovered by a janitorial worker 3 nights later when he noticed thin, golden inscriptions slowly etching themselves into the concrete wall where the artifact had cracked open, forming a new date, May 27th, 2125. Another will be taken where the first was freed, and beneath it, carved deeper than all the rest, as if written by something with infinite patience, was a final line: "What is chosen is not predicted. What is predicted is already owned."